Hello and welcome everyone, I'm C.S.Gilmore and this is Pacific Drive. News Flash Port Angeles. June 1st, 1968. Can you sum it up in a word? No. A sound. Whoa. Okay. Okie dokie. That sounds interesting. Alright. We're heading into the mid-zone crossing. Looks like we'll have to go through two areas to get there. One of which is having the swift storm issue, along with a few other problems. Turncoat. Honk? I think that one means my car will be acting weird and possibly betray me in some cases. I'm not sure. Like it's possessed kind of situation. And disruptive discharge. Okay. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about the turncoat thing. Not one I'm overly familiar with. But, yeah, so we're going to head into there. That should work out just fine for us all ultimately. We've got all our prep made. I think we're good to go. Let me make sure items are in place and that I emptied out everything I wanted to empty out of my storage zones real quick. Always sucks to get on the road and realize you forgot to pack a key item or throw out something that you know is gonna just take up space, but you don't want to really like throw it out. I love this little screen here, by the way. The car just interacts in funky little ways sometimes. It's like, huh? I don't know quite what the car is getting at sometimes. Why is that on? Was that on already? Hold on a second. Ah, I found the quirk. 1 second. There was a quirk. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to fix it. Now I understand. Let me see here. Anytime. No. Not anytime. Car. Switches on. Dashboard. Car battery. Lights. Headlights. Hood. Horn. Dome light. Switches on. Okay. What did I get wrong? What did I get wrong on this one, I wonder? Toggles, maybe? It might not be necessarily that it turns on. Yeah, okay, it just turns on or off. And electrician's kit. Easy fix. I realize I don't have to have it on my person as long as I have one made somewhere in the garage or in my car. It'll just use one of them. That said, you do want to be careful just in case you do, like, use something you want to make sure you actually have with you. You might want to make another one. So, in this case, grab that. Oh. And, yep, down to 2 in here says me, like I had it originally. I always like to carry a good helping of them just because you go through them. Sometimes. Other times, not at all. But sometimes you just burn through stuff. Alright, all the quirks are fixed and we are good to go. Also, I do like that you can actually use the side and rear view mirrors. Like, they fully function. Alright, well, first off, take the highway because that'll be the easiest way to travel quickly and get it done. I'm just gonna keep it here in case they start talking about lore, since we actually chose a lore destination. 1 second. Got to turn down my phone. 1 sec. I always forget to do that before I start recording. Ooh. Okay, there we go. hear a bunny bounce? I think this one I heard something. Alright. They always like to put a ton of notes there. Ah, yep, there is a bunny. Dodge. Don't need any bunnies. Thanks. Alright, and that answers that one question I had the last time. I wasn't quite sure, but I thought there would be anomalies in this area. It's just not heavy. I don't hear any lore talking, so I think I'll cut here unless something really interesting happens on my way to the place. I'll probably cut back in once we get to the destination. Alright. Hello everyone, we're here. It was actually a pretty uneventful trip. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like completely peaceful, but it was not crazy either. And we had to do some very minor repairs. Had to patch a flat tire. I think I might have flipped a bike, or it might just have been the tire came out. I'm not 100% sure what got it. But it looks like we're at the midpoint crossing zone. Ooh, this is a good one. Just toss this in my car real quick. I was also able to find some more lead, which is good for my supplies, because I've burned through a lot lately. Alright, let me mark that. I am going to grab these energy sources, because one of this area is a perpetual stability zone, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, whoops, I pushed the wrong thing. I already have that on. There we go. Get rid of that. And I left my lights on. Jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. There we go. Car safe. Going to go grab things. But, yeah, I should grab the energy here just because that way I'll be sure able to get back, no issues. Plus, I'll probably have a use for it. Is this a squire? Looks like it. Armored dwarf. And an armored panel. Let me... Well, I'll grab this and then I'll come back from the car with my Liberator. Because I could grab both of those. I already have an armored door I grabbed off another Squire. But it was in much worse shape than that. Those two, I just stuck in all my storage lockers on my car, and I was just thinking, hey, I'll take it back with me to the garage, fix it up there, and use it in the future. But those ones I could probably break off and use and not have to worry about it as much. Mainly, I think I've only got one more use of this Liberator, so let's see. Armored panel would probably be the better option. Aim for. Since I've already got... Yeah, no, I think an armored panel would be the easiest one to aim for and replace a piece of. And if I happen to have 2 charges left in the scene, yeah, then I'll go for another bit of it. Armored panel. That one, right? Yep, that was the last one. Don't need to steal this. I will take though. And well, able to just leave this behind. Something interesting I noticed with this plasma scrapper it auto grabs stuff, so makes pickup a lot easier. I don't know if that was an old feature with those, if that's how it used to work, or if that's something they added since. But either way, it's really handy. It makes having the plasma scrapper a whole like another level of worth it. Go-kart steering wheel. Okay. Alright, alright. Just eat that. I only need those right now. I've already got full up on that. Numbers. I don't know what that one's about. Alright. Let's run along. Armored panel. Where could I best use it? Also, I made a lead-plated panel here. How about this? Which one of these panels is the most beat up? Okay, so I got that one's right under. Looks like I've only got a couple left that I need to replace stuff on. So, steel panel. Yeet. Don't need it. There we go. I'll worry about fixing that later. See, that's a gas station. I'm gonna mark that so I have a better idea of, in case I don't see them from the road on my way by. In case yeah, I don't want to miss the enemy. Oh yeah, no. Hey, I need to stop here and grab. Oh, never mind. That's too easy. Oops. Off road. That's fine. Before anything majorly bad. Preferably. Okay, looks like someone's trying. That's for sure.
There's the expansion wall. It separates the outer zone from the mid-zone, and more importantly, us from those two idiots. This will get you one step closer to the deep zone. It's far past its prime, so watch your step.
Alright, where is... down there where I need to go. It looks like we're leaving the road here. This looks cool. And now we're getting some actual water. Okay. Let me jump out. Grab that in a minute, but I see a lot of good stuff in this here that I definitely want. Technician's kit. Electrician. Sorry. Go. Store those. Store that. That back out. That back in. There we go. Zappity zap zap. Done. Those back up because I don't want to lose them. Yes, that was a worthwhile cabinet. Sure, since they stack, I'll grab those two for now. I'll probably just break them down into stuff because I don't really need flare gun stuff. I don't use them. I don't know of any crafting materials that have flares or flare guns right off the top of my head. There might be one that uses flares. Alright. Anyhow, let's take a look at some of this. I can go in there. Saving that armored door. Store that, store that. Uh-huh. Those back in there. And would you look at that? Can't scan that. Those orbs are really funky, and that looks like our target. Some weird circle there. Is that pipe? Alright, first things first, let's get rid of the tourists. I feel like upload. Where that piece went, or what was it? Probably plastic. But these are some really effective lift devices. You notice all the this is not the electric kit. Thank you. Look at all those orbs in there. How interactive they are. That's really cool. Shane myself at the door. Okay, this is okay. Just go away, please. Thank you. One last thing I forgot to do. That. Let's just patch that upside down. Is this doing alright? Yeah, let's patch that up. Don't want my lightning rod to give out on me. It's kind of pulling a lot of weight here. I keep driving through electric anomalies, and it keeps saving me from becoming, well, electrocuted in multiple ways. Okay, pushing on. Oh, that is not just plastic. Mine. So yeah, they have barrier walls separating the other zones. And I don't know why they have multiple areas marked, because I don't think I can get the car into those pipes. This is the only one I know I can get the car into because it's got a ramp. Well, here we go. Totally not weird. And not contrary to the design of this whole place. Let's get a light. It is dark in here. Something up there. Looks cool. Ah, okay, that's just go on. Let's go up this. There's stuff inside the barrier wall though, which is kind of cool. Wait, what? Was that saying I was going up too steep an area, or was that something else? Oh, hi, tourists. You're all hanging out in here too, huh? Alright. For the moment, let's get out and look around. Because we don't usually end up inside a barrier wall, this seems like a good opportunity to look around and just see some new sights. Look at all that. That's so cool. Plus I want to go see what that is over there. I love that they did come up with enough of like new areas like this so you can see all this difference. Looks like a bit amazing. Sup, tourists? Alright, this is that building. Let's take a look around. Okay, what is this? Transmuter gears for chemicals? 3 gears for 1 chemical. Not worth it, really, I suppose? Time-wise, and oh, no, I meant to pick up, not put something. Yeah, supply-wise, I don't think that would be worth it. Okay, is that house? Oh, I walked right past these, didn't see them. Sometimes it's nice to have the lights off just so you can see better. Good. Crude. No. So nothing really good there. Can I get up there? Where's this door? Just on the other side? Alright, does not look like I can get up there. Looks like there's some spark towers in here. I think I see them in the distance. tourist. Another transmuter. 5 gears for a gas cylinder? Definitely not worth it. Wonder why they have pools of water in here. Like, what is the purpose? How does this barrier wall function? I wonder. Also, this is sealed off. What's the purpose of this door here? I know the barrier walls were designed to contain the anomalies, and arguably they've had some since then. Oh, well, don't sneeze. There we go. Because we've got the inner zone where it's really bad, we've got the mid zone where it's kind of bad, and the outer zone where, yeah, we've seen a lot of the outer zone where it's got some issues, but it could be a lot worse. And then we've got outside where we got zapped in from, which suggests that, like, as long as you stay away from the walls, you're probably safe. At least more or less. But so it's like branches out from the epicenter of whatever caused all this. And it suggests that with the barrier walls that that is a lot of tourists, that they were trying to contain things by setting up barriers. But obviously it did not go as well as planned, because they had to make more than one wall. Probably they built a wall, then realized it's all coming through the wall, built another wall, realized it was still coming through the walls, and then built a third, but it was definitely reduced, and then, yeah, built a third wall as a last ditch. Man, I hope this works. And it did, so on we went. Just a theory. So many tourists. Guys, could you not clog up the road? Really would like to get by without having to kill off some of you. Oh, it zapped the tourists. I was like, why explosions? A lot of nothing from some of these. Okay. Also, were they just blocking the road here, or was there, like, were they going somewhere? Why's my door so? Keep moving. Yeah, I love the look of this, though. This scenery itself, like, part of the reason I like all this is this itself tells a story. You see what they were trying to do, how they were trying to do it, how successful or unsuccessful they were in a lot of cases. They have trains in here. Alright, we should be coming up on an exit. Just gotta find it. What is this? We're inside the wall still, and yet... Hold on, let me get up so I can get a better look. Those look like trees up there. Also, they still have power. What's powering something? Probably not something using a usual fuel source, I would imagine. Why is that coming on? Is that saying, hey, you're going up a steep slope, or is that saying there's an engine problem when I go up a steep slope? It would be a quirk. Nope. Man, looks like they were still. Looks like they had tried to construct things and kind of had to just abandon some areas without fully constructing it. Also, it looks like maybe some of these barrier walls were potentially carved right out of natural, like maybe a mountain range in some cases. Alright, this looks like where we have to go. We have to take a turn, and we're through. Welcome to
Major interference in the air signal.
major interference, huh? Take the stabilized access road. Okie dokie. Well, let's get out and take a quick gander at the surrounding landscape, shall we? This part here looks fairly similar to what we just already passed. Yeah, break this. Ooh, this is an invincible fence. Psych. That's different. We're good. Looks like there is a lot more water on this side of the barrier, though. Judging from, like, what we're seeing of various bodies of actual water and whatnot. Travel through. Here we go. Oh, that's something I forgot to mention. You notice next to, like, say, E7, there's a picture of a tree. Or high instability, check conditions. Yeah, or that a different sort of tree there. Those are how you tell what type of general terrain you're gonna see. Blistering woods versus damp forest, for example. I don't recall what the exact difference is between those two, but I believe it generally affects some of the anomalies, and it also affects some of the things you can find. Now, in the mid-zone here, we're going to get some new terrain types. The mires. And that should affect some of the resources we can find here. So, let's go. Excuse me. Acid attacks. I think let's see, the first zone, its primary hazards were electricity and radiation. If I recall correctly, the mid zone had a lot more acid. But it really varies. We're going to see a whole lot of new anomalies and things like that.
Hello, friend. Welcome to our side of the wall. Oh, what's this? Your connection to Wabi is jammed? Worry not. Our signal is crystal clear.
A little bit obvious, don't you think?
Right, ask me if I care. Yeah, the mid-zone's been marinating in all this radiation for so long. Things don't work the same as they do in the outer zone. But the good news is, we live here. We can help you, no sweat.
First things first, we've got to extend the signal from the garage. Otherwise, Avi's equipment won't be much help. Hooking you into a mid-zone stabilizer should do the trick. Look around. You should be able to see one up a hill somewhere.
Says yes, activated stabilizers. Always got so swimming. Oh, look at some of this stuff. I almost wish it wasn't pouring rain right now, just so that I could give you a better view of everything. But there's some things here I want to harvest, so we're going to try out anyway. Look at this place. All the weird bioluminescent stuff. Yep, goes right past that. Didn't even notice it. What's inside? Mostly garbage. But we do have tree candy. That's a new item. Another big truck. Oh wait, no, that's the rock. It was almost truck-shaped in the... Alright, I want to see what those things are up there, if I can. Can we just... please? No. That does not look normal. Battery. Blasted power pod. Art of Briefing. Recorded May 21st, 1963. Oh, and another thing. We're installing new transformers and battery farms across all facilities as of this week. Folks, this is an extensive upgrade that's going to take a few months. Now, you're going to notice a few changes in some of the technology we implement. We're switching out some transformers. We're using shielded systems wherever we can now, because interference is so bad. And we're trying a new type of battery. Some of you will be cleared to work with this technology, and some of you won't. But I can't skirt around this one. Whether you're allowed to work with it or not, you're sure as hell going to notice it anyway. I trust you well enough at this point to know you won't ask questions that you know you shouldn't, or ask your friends or your colleagues anything that puts them in a difficult position. Just know that technology moves fast these days, and when you need to know, we'll let you know. This limb stuff has been good to us, and it's part of our job to respect the rules and keep confidence, okay? So got that, everyone? I'll speak more on this with those of you cleared for the limb briefing at midday. Everyone else, keep your heads down. Got that? Alright. Also, let's check the stable and unstable anchor since we're here. This anchor is in good condition, has been doing its job very well. Tampering with it for any reason might affect this region of the zone, but then again, it would be such a beneficial resource to have. And unstable anchor. This anchor has clearly suffered a great deal of damage and degradation. That, or perhaps it experienced some kind of overload or imbalance. It might not be wise to touch this, or take it away, or keep it. You're a wise person, right? Heh 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 heh. Dumpster pearls. Slice a pearl in half, you'll find thousands of layers of precious materials formed around a core. Break one of these apart, and who knows what'll pop out. Yeah, like the entire plasma scrapper. Such a weird find. I wish I could scan some of these things. Like, some of these things look like they are so scannable, but they aren't. Where you went to that truck? This stuff looks scannable. What is this? Harda. Yep, someone had headphones graffiti. Marsh eggs. Can I not scan these? Salamander Grotto. Okay. So, different car. Source unknown. Circa 1971. You know, it's almost like frog spawn. The thing is, I don't see any sign of it growing or changing. I've now discovered a dozen such collections of these egg-like things, and sure, they must be organic, but I have little more to go on than that. Do they function like eggs and provide some form of incubation and safety? How are they sustained? If all or even some of that is the case, what is growing in here? Growing or waiting? They're curiously warm in a fashion quite unlike anything else I've ever come across. It's almost calming. I see nothing tending to these, nor any evidence of what might have first deposited them. The only connection I can find is that those organic glowing orbs are usually nearby, and what little wildlife I can still recognize around here steers well clear. It steers well clear. Alright, this is actually a really good resource, as I recall. There were some building various things over to vacuum me up. I definitely recommend vacuuming just for the sake of time and effort. And there we go. I will be needing a ton of this stuff for some projects. So, let's get to work gathering. Also, let's scan these orbs. Giant orb! Alright. I'd estimate it's been some 10 to 12 months now. Maybe more. I'd hoped the passage of seasons would serve as at least some broad frame of reference, but that doesn't seem to happen here anymore. The climate is largely constant, while the weather is subject to these sudden swings that are impossible to predict. Storms appear out of nowhere. Rain is sometimes spontaneous. The skies clear quite silently, though never enough that I can get a good look at the stars. However, my compass still seems to be working, at least most of the time. The moon, however, that's something else. I can usually still make it out, but something is different. Something is changing. I can't tell if it's some local atmospheric change but to suggest anything beyond that is ridiculous. Why would the moon have changed? And on the subject of strange orbs, those static glowing spheres have been changing color again. They're now a curious shade of orange, or burnt cyan. This seems to be their most static color yet, and I wonder if this signals some state of maturity. We'll see. They seem to be somehow guarding those strange nests of giant frog spawn. No, I shouldn't say guarding, because that implies intelligence, but they're often nearby. I found a new cache of food last night, and I have nothing but time, so I shall contemplate these orbs. I think I can do anything with these. Nope, nothing. Alright. So this suggests to me that, like, a lot of this limb technology stuff is probably dealing with, like, multiverse. We're actually tapping into a alternate dimension. So, like, the reason we're getting weird stuff like these weird growths and all that, and a lot of these anomalies, is probably because they're actually things from a dimension where these things are normal. These guys. Oh, look at that. That's cool. That's so cool, though. There's so many funny glowy things. I thought those were just lily pads, but look at them. They're like having a techno beat. Yes, all of this. Good. I need more. I still need more. If I remember right, there's at least one project that uses like at least 200 of those. Okay. Let's get back to the cardboard block. It looks like we're in a good spot to keep traveling. I want to take in more of this new zone because this is awesome. Car. There we go. We go to here. Take you out. Take you out. You out. Because I definitely want to keep these safe. Swamp coral. That's another thing from the second zone that I need to find more of. Because we're going to want it. Alright. Take that out. Take that out. Put you in. Put you in. And there we go. I'm so happy with this. We're making great progress. And while I could cut through the water and get up to that area right there, that hillside looks kind of hard to climb effectively without damaging my car up. Let's go around this blockage in the road and proceed along to gain some more imaging. Okay, we're going in the water after. That's a new anomaly. And it looks very acidic. I just see something. Here. Hotbox. In other words, giant acid cloud. Kind of similar to the electric cloud, it looks like, but acid damage instead. Let's not drive into that. Just recommended. Looks like the road goes underwater here, so we'll take the land route. Do some of the rougher terrain until the road comes back out of the water, right here. Go. Awesome. The trees almost look like they're rotted. Yeah, they look like they've got either a rot or something grown. They've kind of been coralized. sense anyway. About where I want to jump out to go grab that energy. I don't know if this will be stable or unstable energy. Ooh, I gotta patch up my car a bit too. Is there a gas station here? No. Alright. We'll make this work. First things first. Put my lights. Let's patch up my car a bit with my gas. I do not want to run out of gas here once we do pull the plug, because we'll probably have to get to an exit real quick. Alright, that's all that. And I keep an extra gas tank, an extra big one, just for cases like this. Alright, we got a few goodies here that for the car decorations later. But for now, I need to mark a few spots. I think I'll run out and grab this one first, because when we head over there next, it's going to be when everything's going wrong, almost certain. So I want to grab that energy. Lickety split, then I'll come get the one that's closer. Alright, that's just an airstrip. Not worried about that. Alright. Oh wow, this area is pretty open. I don't... Yeah, I'll grab it for now just in case, but I don't really need a light bulb. Abandoned car? How is that different? Steel doors. Maybe more gas? Generally? I don't know. Does this say different? Looks like we still get these anomalies. That looks different. That's not one we've seen before. Combustible. Alright. How does that work? Let me see if I can get some log info that might give a hint. And not that one. Which one is it? This one? Combustible. Most volatile things should be kept away from explosives in the interest of safety. Alright, what if I just hit this? Nope, okay. Looks like I need to find some, something explosive to chuck this into. Don't really see anything off the top of my head. Ooh, let's go over there, because I do want more frog spawn. Or whatever the weird purple what call it are. I feel like running all the way over there for some, but yeah, if there's a couple patches over here, I might as well just grab it while I'm here. Dangerous. Rotten pig. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me make some space here. I'm gonna drop that. Alright, and I can just grab this. Now I can grab... that's clever, putting the airstrip at the top of the ramp. You get some real air there. Really big air there, actually. Staying air. Okay, we're good. Let's go grab this. Oh, hello. I happen to have a use for some of you guys. Want to say hello to my little friend here? Does that work? A little bit. It looks like it's pretty durable. That's definitely doing something. Or if there's a better way to do it. Definitely want that. Black paint? I think I may already have some, but let's take that. Mailman. Number 6. I did it! I crawled inside. I've seen where they lead. Where they go. It makes so much sense now. I found it between junctions 5A and 6C. Sometimes you pass right through like normal. Other times you come back where you started, but in the opposite direction. But you never turned around, and there are no loops that could have led you there. And when that happens, sometimes you get a glimpse. A red light in the distance. It's waiting, looking for something it lost a long time ago. Reaching out. I'm certain that's the answer to it all. And I'm staying in here until I find out what it is. Sounds like the mailman may have gone a little loopy and climbed into the pneumatic resources system. The pneumatic tubes. Which I would say is probably a non-recommended field trip. How could I do this best? Drop you. You there. You over here. Do you fit there? Yeah, okay. Breaking both the doors on this place. Okay, we already grabbed those. Grab that. Is there anything else over here I'll take a look at? Okay, let's go a little closer to this. Whoever's shooting these off into the air. Get a scan on it. Belching barnacle. It looks like it reacts to our presence because... Oh, there's even more over there, and I thought I saw some more over. Where else? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. No, Imagine Squire is nice, but not with the radiation. I'm gonna grab the mail here. Theories. Okay, good. We're good. Gonna get out of the radiation. We're gonna cut around and go. Shoot. We're gonna cut around and go for those other eggs there. Looks like I'll have to get a little irradiated, potentially. Something shiny over there, too. There's so many cool things in this place. Oh, there it is. Oh, this is the, Neon Reef. Oops. I just dropped my... Vacuum, where to go? There, okay, float. Didn't expect that. But, alright, this is where I get the, oh, I keep pushing the wrong button. Come back. Pick it up. Yeah, this is where you get the, shoot. Alright, worth dropping that. And that. And that. Yeah, okay, I'll do these things I don't want in the process, but it'll work. So this is where I get the swamp corals, as well as from those shiny areas there. Yeah, let's drop those. Move on. Looks like I need to grab these rare resources while I can, because this is too good of an opportunity with it being a potential stability zone, and for them being this rich in the area right now is awesome. Because we will use these for all sorts of things. Trouble getting out of there. There we go. Alright, those ones are done. That one's there. More our healing. I need to head over this way anyway to get the thing I actually came here for. And the shiny, glowy, whatever that is over there is on the way. Let's take a look. Is this more swamp coral? That usually had to be in water. I guess not. Getting the unreef. All the goodies. Not radiating me in some way. But hey, my guy's apparently well acquainted with radiation, considering everything we keep exposing. Grab all of these, but hey, we're making some progress. Oh no, ran out of room. Okay, what can I drop? Don't need that. Drop the black paint. Here we go. Alright. My back is about to break. This will be about it for my harvesting. Unless I can just grab stuff. It looks like it goes into hiding if I try grabbing. Oh, okay. So I can't just grab the pants, I have to be backing up, otherwise it, like, yeah, it goes into a weird hiding state, unless it's disconnected. Ah, that's funky. Yeah, I can't just grab it off there, it just sucks in and disappears like some coral. Alright, well, I'm out of a vacuum. I got lots of goodies. Time to grab this and go. Back to the car. Love the look of this. Look at all the stuff in the air. Weird particulates of something maybe, or who knows. There's a wire. The sad thing is, all of these resources I just took the time to grab are probably not going to be enough to research a bunch of things. And I'm going to have to make another trip or two to really get enough to be worth to handle everything I want to do with that stuff. But that said, I probably have grabbed enough to do some basic research into the other fields that they open up. And that will help me immensely. Very likely. Maybe not. Alright, there's the other clothes there. Saw that other device. It looks like I have to go with still. Also, apologies, my voice seems to be giving out lightly at the moment. Definitely need this unstable energy. one right there. Snack on these cans while I'm going. You know, I should probably drop stuff off in the car before I go out that way, just in case I run into more really nice gigs. Alright, drop some of that off. That's good. Drop that and grab it. Alright. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Run up here. Oh. Do I have a... No, I probably don't. I have to check. Sorry. If I have enough materials here to make a new vacuum. Hand vac. No, I need a... It says tier 2. I think that means basically I need either a better construction area in my car or a normal workbench outside of my car. I know I can improve the workbench in the car at some point, and I know that I can actually improve the workbench at my base as well at some point. So lots of things to work on. This is a good one. Please don't hit me with anything. Yeah, you're all distorted. Look at that. That is nothing. Dodge gas and missiles. I also like this concept here of like the goo has a name, the belching barnacle that spits it out the goo has a name, but they're classified as separate anomalies, but they're connected. Almost there, almost there. The other side. Toss it in. Okay, I think I've taken up everyone's time enough here. Looking at the zone, getting all this good stuff. It's time to make for here and proceed with the story. Oh, and apparently I missed a mailbox. It was sitting right in front of me. Where did I miss that before? Not my meat. Moving on. Okay, if we follow the road, we should get where we need to go. All sorts of goodies, still trees in the road. What does that say? Let me get a layout. Warning! Launch and construction facility ahead. Periodic volume warning. 80 plus decibels, next 15 miles. In other words, be careful, you might go deaf. You might get deafened by all the junk going on. Construction site 2815 restricted government something. Alright. The cold needs to give up. Alright, we'll go out, turn around, because as soon as we pull this switch, it's probably going to trigger the collapse of everything. We could look around for resources a bit more, but time-wise, I can just do that some other time. Always more time later. Go!
Okay, a stabilizer in Section D is online. Coming through loud and clear. Hey, Francis, pan the car's broadcast frequency to the stabilizer, would you?
Hey, come on, I can't do this without you.
Fine. There. Your receiver's hooked in now.
And we're patched into all that sweet ARC device data. Nice work. Oppie won't be able to block us out anymore. But better get going. Here it comes.
Looks like I don't have to activate it. It's activated all by itself. Time to run. Is the road better or going just off-road? That's a good question. You know, let's just beeline for it a bit more. I think the terrain's gonna be rough, but I believe we can handle it. Our car's in really good shape, and it should work. As long as I am a little careful about not crashing into every little thing. As I fall down the slope and crash into every little thing. Go between the trees. Questionable looking trees as they are. Go all the way into the water. It's probably bad for me. That ramp is going the wrong direction for me to have fun with. Alright. That stuff is coming. So let's get out of here. Victory! Alright. We're in.
Wow. Oppie was hiding a magic teleporter? We could have been beaming all over the zone this whole time? And don't worry, I'll restore her connection once you do us a little favor. We suspect Oppie's hiding a copy of Arda's database in that auto shop of hers. Find it, and we can get back to this remnant business.
A little favor. Recover Arda data. Alright. First, let me go here and just drop some of this stuff off.
All right, I've identified the electrical circuit for the garage's security system.
And there's an auto security lock in that circuit. So once I do this... Yeah, bingo! That security lock's powered on now. You try that overload code from the observation towers. 4735.
Alright, give me 1 sec. Let's check this. I didn't think pickles could smell like that. That's a weird one. Alright, don't get it, but I know exactly where they want me to type it. Here we go.
Driver, something you should know about that database? When Arda's funding began to dry up, they handed us our final paycheck with one hand and the same-day evacuation orders with the other. Oppie was a higher-up, though more entitled than an actual power by that time. She would have known about Arda's plan to close up shop and had enough time to download all the research data before losing access. That data could contain what we need to help you.
Alright, and because I have this feature on, we know there's something weird going on. There we go. Alright, what have we got? Arc dock? Do I do with this? Here. Alright, well, that's installed. Whatever that was. And this is probably what they wanted.
Boy, oh boy, look at all these gizmos in here. Oppie wasn't operating no normal auto shop. The fabrication station. Ooh, her personal vault? I bet there's some good stuff in there.
I'm uncomfortable intruding like this. Can you not?
Hold the phone. There's a machine that prints bobbleheads.
What? Show me.
Of course.
Oh,
Right.
you did it! Hey, you actually did it! Oh, boy, howdy, I cannot wait to dig through all this data. As promised, I'll fix Oppie's connection.
Do you read me? Come in. Do you read me?
Loud and clear, you old bat.
I see. The comms clear up suddenly, and I find you two patched into the garage frequency. It all makes sense now.
No idea what you're talking about. So, Oppie, what's the plan? You must have some grand scheme, don't you?
Let me get this straight. You hijacked my mission, tapped into my frequency, and now you want to be all buddy-buddy.
Also
Not
solar
on your
update.
life. You think you're hot stuff. Why don't you take the lead then? Get the driver through all by your damn selves.
Did she just hang up on us? Well, guess it's our time to shine. So, Francis, you got any ideas?
Well, we know the driver needs to get to the deep zone, but it's too dangerous to head there directly. We have to zero in on exactly where to go. The signal amplification trick won't work here. The ambient instability is too strong in the mid-zone.
Huh, how indeed. There was one other time where the mass hallucination and the remnants intersected. Drive, I've tagged a route for you. Whenever you're ready, give it a spin.
Take a look. Oh, nice. We don't have to research a ton of... Suddenly we're able to pass through the wall in like 16 other areas? What? Alright. I guess that makes it easier, but... What? Also, there's another highway over here, and another highway here, and here. There, and here. Well, that one we already connected. But okay, there are a lot of highway connections here. That this one probably connects to this one, which probably connects to this one. This one might connect all of those ones. Hard to say. Oh, and there's one over here. Wow. Okay, I have a lot of places I should probably poke at. But the nice thing of this all is, we can literally head directly to the next story mission without having to do a bunch of scavenging around first. I can just go from here to here, here to here, here to here. Not even an extra long trip compared to others. Yep, the Myers. What's the other option for the train in this area? The Scourge. Uh-huh. Alright. Well. Progress. Lots of progress. I have to do a bunch of tinkering and construction work. Let me take a look here. What can we make now? That we have that. Grip gloves. Never have an item sold in your grasp ever again, thanks to its unnaturally sticky handwear. Ooh, an anti-theft backpack. Anything from stealing your things? Alright, I'll need more swamp coral for that. I'll probably want both of those when I can get them, because as I recall, the mid-zone does have a few anomalies that like to swipe things. Let me see, what else is there here that we can build real quick before I can make the advanced workbench? I can. Okay, that's worth making now. That will open up a lot of other options. Let's see how it changes this. Looks like a pretty standard workbench right now. Ah, yes. That is an uncomfortably large light source? Alright. That'll, excuse me. That'll allow us to build a bunch of things once we get the research done on it. That should open up a lot of options. We could make a better engine. Let's see. Higher health, slightly lowers miles per gallon, but much higher horsepower. An 8-cylinder, custom-crafted powerhouse via turbocharger, electronic multi-point injection, improved compression ratios, and a stainless steel exhaust manifold. I think we'll want that. At least I have an option to build it. Let's give it a shot. Turbo light engine. Ooh, costs a lot to build. We're not making that anytime soon. But we've researched it. We can make it now once we get the resources. And anything else here that we really want to try and grab right now? I'm probably going to need to get more to do with fuel. Let's make another seat rack. I put this in here. And then do a little research in the fuel department. First, I have to get the side fuel tank, which I don't really intend to use because I'd rather use the side things for other matters. But now I can go to here and I should be able to get a backseat tank. Sure, the safest and most interference-free place to put this may be on a backseat, but it sure makes the car reek of gasoline. Furthermore, it's somewhat limited in its capacity, being about half the size of a regular tank. Still, maybe you can add even more tanks later. Expanded tank. Is it safer? No. Is it larger? Yes. Will it continue to generously disperse the heady, intoxicating odor of gasoline? You know it. Yeah. Good stuff. Fuel synthesizer. Battery-powered device effectively creates gasoline from various environmental substances. Be sure to siphon it regularly. That's interesting, but I'd rather make this and not rely on weird biochemistry, potentiality, whatever stuff. I'd rather just have a solid source of gas right now. Backseat tank. We have everything we need. Craft. The door's already open. The reason it probably has to do with the corp. I'm gonna have to do some research. But there we go. Now we have that. I'm really curious. If I fill up my tank here, does it fill up that tank, or do I have to fill them up separately? Because this tank is taking longer to fill now, I think. Take a look. Yeah, it filled that too. Okay. Funky. I guess it would make some sense that they'd be interconnected to the system. But it still feels weird. Alright. And lastly, this one. Need to pull it out. And let's drop it on the ground. Pull that up. There we go. Alright. Fuel taken care of. Got a few things here to take care of next. Let's put the nozzle back. There's a few more things I want to show you before I close up. Mostly I want this. Alright, that's some basic duty. Well, I'll find a use for it. Decal kit camo. Nice. And then I want to show you, I want to put these in here. Let's take a look. First, the crystal. The balloon blaster. Let's discuss the gravity of the situation, shall we? Or the crystal. The healing energy from this is almost certainly not radioactive. Sounds cool. I like the look of it so far. And we got a new steering wheel. The go-kart. For the frivolous driver, this particularly cosmetic hints that everything is just a game. Sure, let's swap out. Looks like I'll like the look of it better anyway. And so the other stuff we got. Yeah, I like that. And the crystal is hanging there. Oh, it's red. I didn't expect it to be red. Still, kind of different. Alright, that takes care of all that. We've read all the logs we've got. We've got all that. I do have a Malcolm poster. I don't know what that is. Okay. No idea. But alright. I've got to store a bunch of supplies. Decal camo. Can we give it a shot? Nope. Equip. Those in there. Equip the did that. There we go. Now it's working. Huh. Kind of basically negates most of my color scheme. But that's camo alright. Huh. Yeah. Alright. We'll just store that. And work from there. Well, everyone, I think we made good progress today. We got a lot covered. Once again, I'm going to have to go through the whole process of repairing the car, though it doesn't need a ton of repairs. And fixing up a few things. Alright, steel doors are done. I need to pull the armored door out of one of these. And go stick that into a repair device, because it's beautiful. Come on. Alright, headlight in here. There we go. Move that over. This here. Take that to there. We'll just stick some of these in the storage compartment for now. Alright. That. And yeah, back to that. Alright. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else to write off that I really want to make sure I cover before we go on anywhere else. It's just a lot of repairs and adjusting where things are, putting things away, picking things up, trying to figure out what I can do with some of this. Oh, is there anything good out here? Nope, this is a pile of junk today. Okay. Anything good from the friendly dumpster? Just okay. Well, nothing major there. Yeah, that should do it. Hope you all have enjoyed everything so far. And yeah, we'll continue the story next time. It sounds like we're going to be pressing on further into the mid-zone. Not sure quite what we're going to find there, but we're going deeper for sure. For something. I gotta sort all this mess out. So hit like, hit subscribe, keep up with new releases if you haven't done so already. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye.